Okay guys, so this is the deck that I've been playing a hell of a lot, EDO. It's a little bit different, especially in terms of ratios, right? The core of the deck, or the way it wants to function, I think you guys have seen this like a million times already. A lot of you YouTubers have actually covered this before, but I just like to share my personal build with it. So I like the 40 cards. I don't ever want to stray away from this. So we have 3 Ashuna, 3 Vishuddha. A lot of people are cutting this down to 2, but like I said, I wouldn't call them bad players or even inexperienced players. It's players that do a lot of out of the box, things. They're playing the game not to do like high level of plays. They're playing the game to do specific things that they want to like resolve. Maybe be a big wombo combo or their specific playstyle. And this card tends to often more than not help against those kind of decks. Remember guys, the format in the meta is really like streamlined right now. Okay, with Tears being the dominant force, Flunders being like the only thing that can really go up against them consistently. Well, this is statistically, right? Like if your deck can beat Tears, hey, I'm not here to judge you or anything like that, but great, that's awesome. Maybe you can drop us a little bit of a deck profile, but overall, like I said, this is more for broad base. Like Sword Souls for me is just like this great toolbox deck that you can play at locals against basically anything and not come out feeling like you've been overwhelmed. Like you just couldn't do anything. I feel like the deck's like really fair, and the inclusion of the Bastilles is basically genius because I mean, Bastille plus Ecclesia equals any of your level 10s. So yeah, let's continue. So, well, okay, except the Sinister Summon, right? Because of the thing. But these two guys, it's pretty good. So yeah, 3 Ashuna, 3 Vishuddha, 2 Druswarm, 3 Magnamut, 3 Longyan, 2 Tyre, 3 Moe. Okay, and then of course 3 Ecclesia. Like I said, I think earlier in the video, or maybe I didn't mention it, but at some point I was playing this at 2. But with the inclusions of the Bastilles, playing Z3 just makes it's so much better. It just makes so much more sense as well. 3 Ash, the controversial hand trap. Ash is bad, Ash is good. I think Ash is just utility. Like I said, not everybody in SA is playing Tears or those kind of decks that just don't care about Ash. So Ash good in my opinion. 2 Vela, it just comes up. Okay. This card I have a love-hate relationship with. Sometimes it betrays you harder than anything on the planet. And like I said earlier, with the Ecclesia and the Bastille, Bastille plus Vela is this bad boy, a Yazi, which means combo. But anyways, it's pretty decent when it comes up. 2 Adhara, 2 Desires, the Emergence, 2 Droplets, 3 Impum. Impum's great. I think Impum is like probably one of the best hand traps in the format, if not the best. This card just does so much right now. So yeah, Impum, really good. And then 1 back out. Okay, for the extra deck, because I am playing I suppose a sizable 10E package, I do want to see Monk. I do tend to overextend sometimes where I go like Ashuna into Adhara and then I make 2 Monk and I use one of them for the blackout target. But yeah, 3 Monk is fine. If you want to put more cards in, you can cut them to 2. I'm not a really good Sword Soul player, I know this, so I do need a safety net for my misplays, and playing 3 is a little bit more forgiving than playing them at 2. 2 Yazi, 2 Baxia. 1 Yazi, 2 Baxia. You can just play 1 Baxia and cut this for something else, but I'm kind of messing around with stuff that I own. So 2 Baxia does come up, especially when you're trying to clear boards and just break things. There's a lot of like these gimmicky decks that have a lot of like random recursion that you want to shuffle away things. Dragon Maid's something that also comes to mind as an example. That nurse combo is brutal, man. 2 Zhizhao, 1 Berserker, 1 Dragite. Look, Dragite's still great, it's still that 1 spell and like 1 spell trap negate card. I still like it. I only do make it off Moe though. It's like kind of important, or if I already have Moe in graveyard. Just don't forget that. Red Dragon Archfiend, you know, this card is just kind of sitting pretty in my deck. It could be space for something else. But the idea of it is just too appealing most of the time. I do really like this card as well, just kind of nostalgia bait as well. The Sinister Sovereign, like I said, this card is completely cracked right now. Baron, amazing, wish they reprinted it. And of course Cheng-Ying. Cheng-Ying is your I want to win the game now card. Or you know, if you're playing against like random decks that like to banish a lot, you know, you can also combo off it. I mean, you saw what I did in game 1 where I activated Bastille and banished a card and then this thing procced, so great. Okay, side deck. 3 Rivalry. If you're playing against those pesky decks that, you know, using different kind of stuff, you can take out your Bastille package and just play the Rivalries if these are going to be dead. Even in a match for board breaking, Harpy's Feather Duster and 2 Lightning Storm, you can play 3 Lightning Storm instead. I just am playing what I own, so I do unfortunately only have 2 Lightning Storm at present. It's sad, but we make it work. 3 Droll, and then finally, okay, Lava Golem. So you're thinking, bro, you have like so many cards that do like to get normal summon. Why are you playing this? The simple answer is I'm lazy. So I was messing around with ratios and stuff like that, and once I was seeing a lot of Tennies, because I did play like a large Tenny package. So I would Lava Golem, go into my Tennies, make the Bushido pass the Lava Golem back, and kind of just like have this like loop that I like doing. To be honest, now that I've added the Bastilles in, I'd never side this card in. Most of the time against most matchups, these are the cards you want to see. And against like Drytron and some random stuff that like spam a lot draws, amazing, right? Honestly, I'd recommend like Raigekis or more board breakers. If you can even put like Dark Ruler, sure, go for it. But yeah, Lava Golem is a bit of a dead card. It's very situational as well, because like I said, you need to see like a Lava Golem and then maybe these, otherwise you just Lava Golem the field and you kind of just leaving yourself open. So any 3 board breaker slots would be perfect here. So just like quickly final closing thoughts about this deck. I know this has been a bit of a long video, but I gotta say guys, like Sword Souls, really good. I suggest picking this deck up as much as you can, you know. A lot of these components as well are pretty cheap. This is kind of becoming a really good budget deck in my opinion. Of course you get cards like the Baron and stuff like that, that's still pretty expensive, but I mean, it's a staple card. So if you have your Baron already, great. If not, then you can get creative. My whole point of this deck list is to show you like how creative you can be. And you know, I'm gonna be like, well dude, you have Bastilles. Yeah, guys, I have Bastilles because my friends helped me out here. I was playing a list without the Bastilles, and if I had to just top of my head, it was like 2 Vessel, like I said, 2 Vessel Ishitana, so bigger Tenny package, and 2 DD Crows. And it works on a similar basis, right? But if you can pick up these cards, do it now rather than later. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Cheers.